Ashlyn, and this is a video about how and why I'm studying abroad in Korea for the second half of my junior year of high school, which is a mouthful to say. So I'm going to start off with the why. I have kind of wanted to study abroad since 6th grade. It's just that the destination has changed. So in 6th grade, I was like,
oh, I want to go to Japan.
Then I tried learning Japanese and it was super hard, so I gave up on that very quickly, and I was like, well, where else could I go? And that ended up being Korea. After being like, okay, I'll study abroad in Korea, I fell into the world of K-pop, and that's a pretty big thing right now with BTS and all that. And so I was like,
oh my goodness, like I want to learn Korean so badly.
And so I started learning Korean while listening to K-pop and just all of that. So I was like a minor Korea boo at one point. Sorry about it. But anyways, I started learning Korean in 7th grade, very loosely. And now I'm a junior in high school. And I started learning Korean more seriously last year, and my parents were like,
well, let's host an exchange student and maybe you guys can exchange languages.
So we hosted a student for about 6 months, and she was amazing. We are still friends. She actually switched host families, but I mean, she was just at my house yesterday, and we were in this very room editing her videos. So, I mean, it's pretty awesome. We had a fantastic time. And so I was going to spend summer with her and her family in Korea, but Corona. So instead I decided, well, maybe I should try to study abroad too, and I can visit her while I'm in Korea. So that's basically how that came to be. Okay, so now I'm gonna go on to the how, and I have my notes here, so I'm pretty ready. So first, I had to convince my parents, and as I said earlier, I had been wanting to study abroad for a very long time, so they already knew that I was kind of planning and hoping to study abroad at some point in high school. And at first, I was like, well, I'll go with NSLIY, because it's free, but it's a really intense competition because so many kids are trying to get into that as well. And I kind of gave up on it because I submitted an application, but my teacher didn't finish the recommendation in time. So I was like, fine, I'm moving on. Next contestant. So that next contestant happened to be YFU, which is Youth for Understanding. They have a Korea program. It's not free like NSLIY is, but it was an exchange program nonetheless. So I was like, okay, I'll check this out. And so I applied. I think it was a $50 application fee, so not too bad. And then I got lazy. I never finished the application and submitted it, so I guess that's $50 down the drain. But then that was before I had an exchange student, and then I had an exchange student for a while, and I decided to apply to a different one, which is ASSE, which is a funny name. We can laugh about it because, I mean, come on, it's in the name. ASSE, if you're watching this, no you're not, haha. So the application fee for ASSE is $300, which is a big jump from the $50 that I paid for YFU. But the reason why I chose this program is because their cost for the program in its entirety is cheaper than I think any other program that I was looking at. So I was like, ooh, I'm gonna apply to that. And I think, honestly, in the end, I think it's going to cost about the same because there's certain things that they don't cover. But if you guys want to know more about that, I don't know if anyone's going to watch this, so this might be embarrassing saying this, but if you guys want to know more about that and the costs associated and really in-depth about my program, I can make another video on that, but only if people watch this.
If not, that'll be really embarrassing.
ASSE has 33 countries, and the most expensive one is Korea at $12,000 almost. It's exactly $11,950, but it's $12,000 pretty much, round up. And the cheapest being $5,250, which is still expensive, but I mean, it's not too bad. So yeah, that's how I'm studying abroad. I need a job where I can pay for it. Yeah, I do. But I'm paying for half, my parents are paying for half. So let's get it. I will be departing in late February, early March. So yeah, I guess I'll keep you guys updated. I don't know. So just a little disclaimer, I honestly not sure if I'm gonna upload this. So if it is uploaded, that's a miracle. Because I don't know, it just feels like kind of embarrassing to record myself like this. But if I do upload it, it's mostly for, you know, myself and like all the process. I want to be able to document that and look at it later and be like, wow, she did that. But if you find any of this information useful, or if you have any questions, you can comment down below, I guess. Once again, very embarrassing. So yeah, that's all. Thanks! If you have any questions, comment down below and like and subscribe. I think that's what I'm supposed to say. Anyways, yeah. Bye-bye.